KCIM Sports presents the Pizza Ranch Saturday Morning Coaches Show with Sports Director Jeff Blankman.
Thank you very much, John, and a good Saturday morning. Jeff Blankman hanging out with you, of course, on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show. We've got 8 coaches to talk to this week. We're going to be wrapping up the season with a couple of those, and Tracy Huffman of the Kemper Girls Wrestling Team and Samantha Vanami with the Carroll Girls Wrestling Team as they wrapped up their season with some of their individuals down at the State Wrestling Tournament on Thursday and Friday. We'll also talk with Andrew Klink about Kemper Girls Basketball. They've been on a little bit of a tear. Katie Cook and the Carroll Girls Basketball have been on a big-time tear. Sean Minahan and the Kemper Boys Basketball Team, they just continue to play great ball. Randy Beeson and the Carroll Boys Basketball Team had a nice bounce-back win last night. We'll also talk a little wrestling, kind of an off week for a lot of the boys teams, but we had some things to talk to Eric Nagel with the Carroll Boys and Shane Vaughn with the Kemper Boys Wrestling Team. Now, Deb Danner not going to join us, didn't have any events this week. Of course, coming up today, and we'll talk about that coming up in the sports schedule in the back part of the show here today, but they're at their state qualifying meet today up in Ames. So we'll talk with Deb next week about how that goes. But we've got plenty to get to start our show here today. Of course, State Girls Wrestling wrapped up on Friday. Julia Canny of the Carroll Tigers was our lone wrestler to qualify from Thursday into Friday. She took on Mariah Michaels of St. Ansgar in the 4th wrestleback to start yesterday morning at 110 pounds. Canny battled hard but ended up losing by fall at the 321 mark. And she finishes in the top 12 in each of her 2 years down at the state. So that's a terrific job by her. Went 3-2 again at this year's tournament, finishing her season at 38-14. Let's move on to some girls basketball night. The Kemper Knights pick up a 38-27 victory against Shenandoah. Kaylee Simons with 11 points to go with it, 6 steals. Franny Glenn has been a rebounding machine lately, 12 points to go with it, 10 rebounds. Carroll knocks off Boone 49-26. Tigers have won 4 of their last 5 and 3 straight. Olivia Rowetter had 9 points to go with it, 10 rebounds. Allie Cook, big night with 15 points and 8 rebounds. It was Arweva knocking off Glidden Ralston 48-44. Rockets got 10 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists from Amber Regaler, and Gabby Hundling added at 17 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 steals. For Glidden Ralston, Tyler Jansen goes over 1,000 points for her career, finishing up with 24 last night. Allison Snyder finished up with 7 points. It was Esac County falling last night to Southeast Valley, 62-45. Sarah Bontrager, 18 points to go with 4 rebounds, and a girl who's become a double-double machine, Addison Ealer, with 13 points to go with 13 rebounds. Elsewhere in girls basketball, IK Manning picks up another win. They're second in a row. They downed Loma 49-41. Anna Stangl, 19 points to go with 6 steals. Taylor Beckendorf had 12 points to go with 9 rebounds on the night. Coon Rapids Bayard, they pick up a 40-25 victory at home over Boyer Valley. Breeley Clayburg with 16.6 rebounds, while Ashton Clucky had 10 points on the night. South Central Calhoun downed Manson Northwest Webster 54-33. Bree Patterson with 17 points, 4 steals. She also had 4 assists on the night. Sadie Wheelock, 8 points to go with 7 rebounds. And Peyton Sheridan falls last night at Orient Maxburg 52-38, outscored 21-3 in the 4th quarter. It was after being down by just 2 going into that 4th quarter, so 3 really good quarters for them. Olivia Smith did have 25 last night, 25 points, and Kalia Minahan finished up with 9 points. We move over now to the boys' side of things. Kemper just continues to roll. They knocked off Shenandoah last night, 87-42. Brock Bading, 22 points and 5 rebounds. Carter Putney, 14 points, 10 rebounds, including an alley-oop dunk on the opening playoff of the opening tip last night as the Knights ran a play and got that opening dunk from Putney. Carroll Tigers defeated Boone 53-43. Jared Moore had 9 points. Peyton Wardell, 10 points, go with 6 rebounds. Esac continues to win. They knocked off Southeast Valley 67-51. Caleb Eichhorn was 7 points to go with 5 rebounds and 3 steals. Ryan Clare, 28 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 steals. South Central Calhoun knocked off Manson Northwest Webster 61-51. Andrew Anderson with 12 points. Gavin Badd at 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 block shots. Arweva Thompson Glidden Ralston 57-47 for the Rockets. Blaine Smith at 19 points, 4 assists. Emmett Newman, 13.7 rebounds for the Wildcats. Jonathan Bergmeyer with 21 points and Colby Wallace with 18 points. Coon Rapids Bayard beat Booyer Valley last night, 80-65. Cal Hayden, 30 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Cade Barons, 18 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists. ICAM Manning gets by Loma 65-30. Ross Guzzo with 24 points on the night to go with 3 steals. It was Lane Sam's nice double-double, 16 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists. We'll step away, take a break. We'll talk with Tracy Huffman about Kuemper Girls Wrestling when we come back here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show.
Here at Pizza Ranch, we love our basketball. Just like you love everyone's favorite buffet. Hot, fresh pizza, the country's best chicken, fresh, cool salad bar, and dessert options that are so good, it's like sinking the winning shot at the buzzer. Pizza Ranch is a perfect meal option every day of the week. And to make it even sweeter, we have extended hours every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Whoa, that's good.
Pizza Ranch, located just off Highway 30 in Carroll, open 7 days a week.
Jeff Blankman joined here by Tracy Huffman, of course, the head girls wrestling coach for the Kuemper Knights, as we take a look back at a terrific state tournament for the Kuemper girls. Both Sadie Smith and Grace doing a terrific job. Coach, appreciate you joining us. And we talked to you on this Friday afternoon down here at the state wrestling tournament.
Yes. Good afternoon, Jeff.
You bring down 2. Both of them get into, Thursday night. I think Sadie was happy. I think Grace probably a little disappointed. But your thoughts overall on how you felt like things went for the Kuemper girls down here?
For Sadie Smith getting down here sophomore year, I mean, that's a huge accomplishment.
Yep.
And just proud of her for getting a win down here. And Grace, it's her senior year, but she wanted more. But just to get here after all of her battles this year, I think it's a huge accomplishment.
Let's talk Sadie getting that win. What does that do for her future? And what do you think stood out for you in her win?
So when we were walking to the mat, I'm like, no way, is that her girl? Because that girl was pretty buff. And I was like, ooh, we're going to have our hands full. And she just kind of went out there and dominated her. And, if she sets her mind to it, she can do it. We just, make sure that we're always in the right set of mind and everything. And, she can really hammer at those girls.
She talked a lot yesterday in her interviews and out of her interviews about getting to wrestle with Grace and hanging out with Grace. Those two have such a great connection.
Yeah, it started when they were younger. Grace just had a wild hair and said, hey, let's try this. And they did an AAU tournament together. And then, they've always been great friends. And this was my goal for them, was to get both my girls here 1 year together. And they did it, and I'm so proud of them.
Let's talk now about Grace. As you mentioned, disappointed, but what an incredible accomplishment to battle the injury that she did this year, have to take as much time as she did off, then to win her qualifying regional, get down to the state tournament and pick up a couple of wins down here, says a lot about the competitor that she is.
Yeah, she's got stubborn. When she sets her mind to something, she's pretty determined that doesn't matter what anybody says, she's going to go do it anyways. So, very proud of her. The regionals, we weren't going to go for the first and second. We thought we should set her out just, to let her recoup a little bit. But she said, hey, I want to do it. And she goes, I'm just going to go out and have fun. And what happens, happens. And she went out and won it. And, she got down here. First girl was really tough. We were surprised with that one. But she came back and battled the next one. And, we matched up with Canny, and we always had a hard time with her, and we just couldn't get past it. But proud of her for making it this far.
I really like the adjustments that Grace made after losing that first match. She said that she realized that girls down here probably going to go after that leg, and she was still able to get 2 wins, even knowing that girls were going to do that. So that tells you her wrestling smarts.
Yeah, so we had to do a little tweaking and adjusting and stuff, but she was trying to protect it as much as she could, and I know she was in a lot of pain, but she was battling through it. So, she did great.
You mentioned the Canny match. Them two know each other well. I know it was only the second time they saw each other this year, but probably wrestled 5 or 6 times over the last couple of years against each other. The town rivalry's there, but there's also a friendship. I know they run cross country together and everything else. So how bad does it stink to have to wrestle somebody that you know so well down here?
Yeah, that's always a thing. And why those two always have to meet up down here, it blows my mind. But it sucks meeting up with your tough, but it's part of it.
Where's the program go from here for next year, and what are you hoping to continue to build?
I'm super excited. My middle school grew from 4 girls from last year to 10 girls this year. So we're hoping to maybe get 6 incoming freshmen, which is huge for our team because that will double my numbers, which is awesome. We will lose the 2 seniors, but I know all the girls that were on the varsity team will be back. And, those girls are making huge steps forward. And, yeah, I'm just excited to grow our numbers and get an actual team.
Well, Coach, as always, we appreciate all the time. We bother you every week all season long, so appreciate everything. Have a great off season and looking forward to next year.
Thank you, and thank you for all your coverage on us and always being there with us.
You bet. Head coach Tracy Hoffman again with the Kemper Girls Wrestling Team. We'll be back with more of the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show here on KCIM.
Hi, this is Dr. Rick Gotting. Join me here on KCIM at 10 o'clock on Sunday mornings where I talk about orthopedics and whatever else really comes to mind. We have a good time on the show, and we would like to invite you to join us.
Listen this Sunday morning at 10 a.m. right here on KCIM for the St. Anthony Hospital Orthopedics Show with Dr. Rick Gotting. For more information about St. Anthony Orthopedics, go to stanthonyhospital.org or call 794-5536.
Welcome back here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show. Jeff Blankman joined right now by Carroll Tiger head girls wrestling coach Sam Vanami. We're down at the state wrestling tournament where the Tigers had a really good performance, bringing 4 girls down, 3 of them getting into Thursday night. Julia Canny, of course, advancing into Friday morning before her season came to an end. Coach, congrats. Really good run with a group of 4 girls down at the state tournament. Had to be pretty pleased.
Thanks. I am entirely pleased with this whole season, this whole group of girls. They can't do anything wrong in my eyes. They are strong together, they are tough together, they've learned together, they're committed to each other, and they make me proud every single time.
What did you see different from them this year than what you saw from the girls that came down last year? Because several of these making a repeat performance.
The confidence is better this year. Just knowing the sport in general and the leadership for each other has just grown so much that it's boosted their confidence in their moves and their abilities.
Let's talk a little bit about Julia Canny. She ends up falling on Friday morning, but still another great run to get back down to a Saturday for a second year in a row. What did you see from her in all of her matches over the week?
Julie, I feel like a repeat for you here, but she is just a beast. She puts her head down. She doesn't complain. She stays humble. She has great sportsmanship and empathizes with the other people that she's wrestling with. She's more concerned about the other people that she wrestles with. Are they healthy? Are they strong? Did I hurt them? I just ended their high school career. Yeah. And she is just a kind, human, humble girl. And that's the difference with Julia Canny.
I'm going to tell you something. I was following the girl she lost to on Friday morning out along with their coach. I was walking behind him, and they were talking about how Julie was able to counter what she was trying to do after she got her down in the first period. And I heard their coach say, she's a really smart wrestler. Everything you tried, she was half a step ahead of you figuring out what you were going to do. I think that says a lot about Julia's knowledge of this sport.
She is. She's very methodical, and she's able to hone in on, what's this girl going to do? Where's this girl's strength and where's her weaknesses? And she's so patient on that mat that she knows that she needs to just wait a little bit longer, and she's going to be able to find her shot. She's going to, if the girl doesn't have the arm completely sunk in, she just needs to wait a little bit longer, and she can try to flip over and she can get out. And she's just so patient, and it's respected from other wrestlers, obviously.
Emma Daniels made it around further this year than a year ago. I think she was disappointed on Thursday night to lose, but excited about the fact just a sophomore, and she took another step forward this year. Just a great year. I think her future is unlimited.
Oh, I think that's an understatement. I think Emma Daniels improved. She was great last year, but she improved a lot from last year to this year. She's strong. I know she's going to go and do a lot of weight strength training this year. A lot of these girls also are going to AAU. I know Emma's going to be doing that, and she's just really going to continue to hone in on her skills and her abilities, and every year she's getting a little bit further, and I know the goal for next year is to hopefully place next year too.
Yeah, absolutely. Which match did you feel was her best over the weekend? I know it's hard to put them all and separate them.
You want me to pick just one? Oh, my goodness.
Did you just feel like she wrestled really well in all of her matches?
I do. I mean, we knew going off the bat that she had to go against Haley Armstrong, and she's lost against her, but she also beat her when we were down in Atlantic, so it really was anyone's game. And the way how the bracket shook out loose this year, it's really anyone's game. Some of the top people that are, higher seeded, they're not going as far as we thought that they would. So the fact that Emma was just in the right headspace and she was ready to go, that just tells you the kind of athlete that she is.
Let's talk about the other Emma Grossman. Fun. I interviewed her a couple of times. She's a blast, but I think she also probably puts in more work behind the scenes than people realize. And I think for her getting down here and getting some experience is going to be very beneficial. I think the future very, very bright for her as well.
She is my little fireball, for sure. You never know what she's going to bring to the table. But, from last year to this year, she's really improved. She's honed in on her skills. I know I keep saying that, but these girls, they really have been putting in the time before practice, after practice, running miles. Even when I don't tell them they have to run miles, they're doing it. And Emma was just excited to be here. And that's, I think, the best thing that she could have done is not get in her head, not worry about somebody's record, not worried about is she capable. She obviously is capable, and she had surgery over the summer on her feet, and she was a little bit worried she wasn't going to be able to do some of the things that she needed to do, but she overcame any of those obstacles and obviously was able to make it to state, did the best that she could, and at the end of the day, she popped her head up with a smile, and by gosh, that Olive Garden is waiting for her.
Yes, and I hope she enjoyed it, and she does always seem to have a smile on her face.
Yes.
Speaking of a girl that always has a smile, the other senior, Avery Burke, another character. She is just a blast. A hard competitor, always tough on herself. I laugh about the fact that she was disappointed that she didn't get a black eye on the one match, but such a fun kid to talk to and to watch wrestle because she competes with everything.
She really does. From day one, she said, I'm going to state last year, and that's exactly what she did. She was the first girl on our team that got a pin for us and put us on the map. She is dedicated to her sports. She's dedicated to her studies. She puts in the time. She puts in the effort. She asks the questions. She watches the videos. I mean, there's not a whole lot that she's not willing to do. And I know with herself and some of the other seniors, it's like they choose to eat, sleep, and breathe wrestling and really commit to those bonds of the other coaches, and they thoroughly enjoy it, and they can't get enough of it. And I am so incredibly proud of Avery and what she's been able to accomplish this year and last year. And I hope that she's able to walk away with her head held high, and that girl's going to do amazing things.
Absolutely, Coach. I tell you what, I appreciate you so much joining us all year long. We'll look forward to catching up with you again when the golf season gets started right around the corner.
Sounds great, Jeff. Thank you.
You bet. Head coach Samantha Vanami again with the Carroll Girls Wrestling team. We'll be back with more from the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show right here on KCIM.
Hi, this is Chloe Dankert, and for the past 2 years, I have had the privilege of working in the marketing department here at Carroll Broadcasting. It has been so rewarding and has given me a real sense of accomplishment as I reached my goals. But things in my life have changed as my husband and I welcomed a baby girl in 2022. With my responsibilities and schedule as a mom, it made more sense to move to a new position with Carroll Broadcasting. As excited as I am to get started in my new role, I want to let you know that Carroll Broadcasting will be looking for our next member of our marketing team. If you're outgoing, love meeting and helping people, and using your creativity to make their businesses a success, then Carroll Broadcasting is the perfect place for you to call home. Apply today by sending your resume to Kim Hackett, our general manager, at kim@carrollbroadcasting.com. Carroll Broadcasting is an equal opportunity employer.
We're back here at the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show talking a little Kemper girls basketball right now as Andrew Klink, the head coach, is joining us here. Coach, congratulations. You guys back-to-back nights played well down at Harlan, a ranked team, and battled them to just a 6-point game on Thursday. Then came back home on Friday night, beat a Shenandoah team that came into the game above 500. But you guys, you get it done. I think you said right during the commercial break that it wasn't real pretty, but you got the job done.
Yeah, with some unfortunate weather there for a little while, we kind of had to sandwich some games together, and that makes for a little bit of chaos for us. But I honestly think our girls responded really well. We came out and we battled all week, and that's kind of been our MO all season is we battle, and more times than not we've come up a little short. But last night against a pretty solid Shenandoah team, we came out on the top side of that, battled for 4 quarters.
Coach, what do you think was the difference for you guys Friday night?
I think a lot of it was just playing as a team. We only giving up 27 points is pretty impressive from a standpoint of it takes 5 girls on the floor, whatever 5 are on the floor, and we played quite a few girls that stepped in. They had roles they had to do, and they did it really well, which was really nice to see for us. Girls stepping into roles and buying into it. So for us, a lot of it was just that 1-2 that I'm going to work with my teammates and we're going to try to be successful, especially when the ball is not falling in the hoop for us. But I really think that when we kind of made our run, we got a couple of really good looks, some layups, some inside-out kicks, and it was because of our defense on the other end.
Coach, what do you think you guys took from Thursday night? I know it was a loss, but just a 6-point loss on the road to a top 10 ranked Harlan ball club. Do you think the way you played there helped you guys on Friday night on either end of the floor?
Yeah, I think, seeing that we're capable against a very solid Harlan team, a very good Harlan team, down to the wire, and that we have the ability to do that on both ends of the floor, really opened some eyes for us, for our girls. That confidence aspect, we didn't shoot it phenomenal, but we took care of the basketball in the second half. We cleaned things up offensively. We got really good looks. We got to the line, and defensively we got stops. And if we continue to work in that direction, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Coach, 2-2 over the last week. Playoffs get started here in just over a week for everybody. Where's this team at right now? What do you need to keep building on it? And how does this 2-2 week with 2 close losses to 2 ranked teams, because the loss to Coon Rapids Bayard coming in the closing seconds, I know they're 1A, but still a ranked 1A team that's playing really well right now. So, 2-2, but you're really close to going 4-0 on a crazy busy week.
Yeah, our MO this whole week was just, every day is a new day, positive vibes. We can't hang our head, when you have a losing record, sometimes that's a little tough to come back to work every day, but our girls have done it every day. Come back to work to get better. They know that they're, on the short end of a couple of games that should have gone our way, and, it's out of your control. So, we've got to grow from that, from a mental perspective. And then, hopefully by the end of the season, it's winding down and we're getting into regionals next week is, that mental toughness when you are in games that are close or you've got to, value the basketball or get a defensive stop. All those tough times we've been through this year, start to pay off for us, just kind of in that growth aspect of things.
Coach, a couple of players, one that's been playing really solid all year, I think, on both ends, and Lauren Bell, but Aubrey Houghton really starting to come on offensively. She's played really well defensively, I think, most of the year for you, but offensively, things seem to be starting to click a little bit for her. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, I think she's confident shooting the basketball. Her feet, feel a little more comfortable underneath of her. And I think, like I always tell the girls, defense leads to offense. And, when you play great defense on one end, and the ball's going to find you on the other end offensively, and she's doing that. Franny Glenn is a double-double machine lately.
Yes.
She's getting 10-plus rebounds every night. She's doing a phenomenal job. Lauren's always been, great on the glass, and she's kind of finding that mid-range shot for us. She's finding herself at the free throw line and shooting it at a pretty high clip. And the list goes on, down the list of girls that have just, kind of embraced their role and really ran with it. So it's good to see. That's the whole point of a season is you want to continue to work and build up, and then you want to peak at the right time.
Coach, I know you got one more regular season game left, and we always think one game at a time. That's Tuesday night. You guys host Denison Schleswig, but postseason just a week away from today on Saturday. You guys take on East Sac County, that one now on the road coming up. I know you've seen them before, so more of a question not about the games, but what did you think of the pairings when they came out on Wednesday?
We're just focused on Denison Tuesday. The regional pairings, they are what they are. It's out of our control. We're just going to keep growing from game to game, trying to keep building off of what we've been doing really well. And, where we got to go, we got to go.
Well, Coach, as always, we appreciate you joining us here. We wish you the best of luck, and we'll see you next Saturday up at Sac City.
You bet. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Head coach Andrew Klink again with the Kemper girls basketball team, back with more of the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show right here on KCIM.
Here at Manning Regional Healthcare Center, we offer our patients convenient care close to home. To better meet your healthcare needs, our clinic offers extended hours into the early evening during the week and Saturday morning hours to accommodate busy schedules. We also offer same-day appointments for minor injuries or illnesses for when you or your family need it most. If you're not feeling well, call 712-655-8100 to schedule an appointment at MRHC.
Your trusted experts close to home.
Back here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show, talking with Katie Cook. Of course, she's the girls basketball coach with the Carroll Tigers. They've been on a tear as of late here, winning 3 games this week out of 3 and 4 of their last 5. So, Katie, congratulations. Man, this team defensively really, really good right now, and I think they're really enjoying playing on the defensive end.
Well, we could ask them, but let's just say, they're loving it.
Thanks for
loving defense.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, by the way, Coach. How are you today?
Of course, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. I'm doing well. Last night, you guys were in action. Had to travel over to Boone. You hold them to 26. I bring up the defense. I'm just going to tell everybody. You hold Boone to 26 last night. Tuesday night, you held Bondurant Farrar at home to 24. And you held ADM on Monday night to 39 points. So a really good defensive week. Now, you got another game coming up today against a pretty good Denison Schleswig ball club. But what is it with the defense, and what was it with the defense on Friday night against Boone?
The girls just they buy into the game plan, and we try to take away the other team's strengths or the other players' strengths if we can. But it doesn't hurt that we have a lot of girls that are pretty long. Yep. I mean, we've got a lot of good size and with that some athleticism. So I've just been proud of how far the girls have come this year defensively, and they really dig in and get those stops, which I think I've said it a million times. But if you struggle to score on the offensive end, you better get some stops. So the girls have bought in and done a nice job.
Did anybody have a standout defensive game for you last night?
You know what? Molly Feld has been huge.
Yes.
We tend to put her on last night, Boone's best player, and Erin Aids, is a very athletic guard, and Molly's she's happy to take on that challenge. She likes it. She digs in, and she gets a lot of defensive stops for us. We don't do anything too fancy. We don't change it up a ton. We just try to take away high percentage shots.
Coach, I'm glad you brought up Molly. I know she came up to do the interview Tuesday night at Bondurant for our game that I called, but you're right. I thought that night early in that game she had some key jump into the passing lane, get some steals for you. Her defense kind of helped spark you guys early on against Bondurant Farrar.
Absolutely. She's a defensive stopper. I would say that's her biggest role for us. She ended up with a lot of steals that night. Last night I think she held their best scorer, like 5-6 points under her average, which is great. Her defense has been huge, and we're all trying to, if you find yourself in the stands, go ahead and holler at her to shoot, because we're trying to get her to shoot more.
Yeah.
She's capable. She's definitely capable on the offensive end, too.
The whole student section, every time she gets the ball now, is going to start chanting, shoot, shoot, shoot.
Oh,
you know that,
great?
Right? It would be. I'm hoping it happens today. I've got your broadcast against Denison Schleswig. I'm going to put it out there. I'm hoping the student section will chant, shoot, shoot, shoot for Molly today.
Oh, that'd be great.
Coach, the offense, as good as the defense has been, the offense struggling still a little bit. You guys have been winning games, but you score 48 against ADM, 35 against Mondurant, 49 last night. So you're getting enough to win, but you said it here a little bit ago. When you struggle on offense, you got to play good defense. How's the offense looking? Do you feel you're struggling, or do you feel pretty good with the way the offense has been playing?
If we win, I don't think it matters.
Right.
But it depends. We're kind of our streaky shooters. We might shoot 40% one night and 19% the next night. So I guess we need to find more time to get, shots up, whether that's during practice or on their own time or whenever it might be. But I think we see a lot of zone as of late. Like I mentioned, we have good size, so
Yep.
we do see a lot of zone, and sometimes that's a little bit of a slower pace. So we don't get as many shots off because we take more time with the ball, working it around side to side, in and out, and that kind of thing. But yeah, it's something we're working on. We continue to work on. I've got a list. We're working our way down. We're almost perfect, Jeff, but not quite yet.
You'll get them there, Coach. I know you will. Who played well offensively for you against Boone?
It was Allie Cook. Allie Cook had 15 points, led us in scoring. It was nice to see her have a strong offensive performance. A lot of it was I don't have the stats in front of me, but we had a lot of offensive rebounds, and Allie herself had quite a few putbacks. I'd venture to guess about half of her points were from putbacks, and she had with a pair of threes as well. So yeah, Allie, it was nice to see a kid that struggled with some injuries, see some of her work pay off and have a good solid game. So.
Absolutely, she plays with such energy out there, Coach. Mentioned another game coming up today. That's 4 of them this week. You knew it was going to be a busy week. How you feeling like the girls are going to be feeling coming into that game today, and what are you looking at with Denison Schleswig?
Well, it's at this point in the season, a lot of the teams we're playing we've already seen once. So Denison today, this is not the case. So obviously they have a great player in Kiana Schultz, I believe is her name.
Yep.
Good guard. So we'll look to slow her down if we can. And again, we always start with defense, and we go from there. Control what we can. When we get a chance to push the ball, we will in transition, and hopefully we'll be able to capitalize on our size.
Well, Coach, as always, we appreciate you joining us. We look forward to getting a chance to catch up with you again later on today. Again, game time 3:45, 4 o'clock this afternoon. So looking forward to catching up with you then, and best luck. We'll see you later today.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jeff.
You bet. Head coach Katie Cook again with the Carroll girls basketball team. We'll be back with more from the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show. We're going to flip the script. We'll talk boys basketball. We've got Sean Minahan with the Kemper boys joining us next right here on KCIM.
Here at Pizza Ranch, we love our basketball. Just like you love everyone's favorite buffet. Hot, fresh pizza, the country's best chicken, fresh, cool salad bar, and dessert options that are so good, it's like sinking the winning shot at the buzzer. Pizza Ranch is a perfect meal option every day of the week. And to make it even sweeter, we have extended hours every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Whoa, that's good.
Pizza Ranch, located just off Highway 30 in Carroll, open 7 days a week.
Back here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show, again, Sean Minahan with the Kemper boys joining us. They pick up another victory last night. Coach, congratulations. You got the guys playing really well, and we've got to start. First, thanks for joining us. Second, we've got to start with the alley-oop that opened up the game last night.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was an exciting start to the game. Coach Tryon, he wanted to start with an alley-oop for Carter because he had got one down in practice the other day, and Colby Pudens threw an absolutely perfect pass from, just across half court, and, Carter just went up and got it. And that was a lot of fun. Really started the night off. And really exciting.
And then you get another one later in the game. Ben Traylon, you and I were talking during the commercial break that the guys must have been in the right mindset because they were setting each other up for these kind of things last night.
Yeah, and we, it was one of those games. We kind of knew going in. We had a chance to take care of business early and kind of have some fun with it. We just, as long as we did the little things right early, and the guys really did. They executed it. They played great defense. And I told Ben if you get a chance to be trailing in transition to kind of call for one, and he threw it up to Hans, and Hans dropped it right back for him. It was a lot of fun. And man, they were both way up there on those. It was awesome.
A lot of people going to talk about that, but you guys went out defensively and played well against Shenandoah last night as well. Yeah,
I mean, we had 21 points in the first three quarters, and they got going, hit some threes in the fourth quarter. But that's it. That is what it is. Our guys, really set the tone from the beginning. Maybe not the fastest of starts, but it was a lot of fun. All of our seniors got a lot of minutes. Jace Huffman and Colby Pudens, guys who don't get a lot of minutes and action, but worked really, really hard for us the last 4 seasons. Been great scout team players for us the past 2 years. So it was great to get them. They're able to get starts in last night, and Colby hit some shots in the fourth quarter, and Jace hit some as well. So that was fun to see them both get not only play, but get in the score column as well.
Coach, did some of the guys that maybe had been struggling a little bit offensively get going last night?
Yeah, I mean, Brock had a rough 2 games between the LC game and the Harlan game. He didn't shoot the ball the way he had been all year, and I think he made his first 6 threes of the game, and then maybe missed his 7th, or he might have made 5, missed 1, and then made 1. I can't remember the exact order of it, but he got a lot of really good looks, and he shot the ball with confidence. And we joked with him at halftime about how big that hoop is, or how big the hoop looked for him, and he just said it was huge. So it was fun.
Yeah, a guy like that's not going to struggle for long. You mentioned the Harlan game. He struggled, but that you got a ton of weapons. And you guys took him out of there on Thursday night with a 75-63 victory. Had to be happy with the guys in the way they played Thursday night?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we haven't won at Harlan, I think, since, I want to say, whatever, Cole Neary's senior year and Sam Brinks and all those guys. So, to get a sweep of Harlan, we beat them at our place for the conference game, and then, we're down. You're down 1 at half or 2 at half. I can't remember what it was. And then, they came out really well in the third quarter, and we were struggling. And then called timeout with 4 minutes to go, with 4 minutes left in the third, and we put in Jack Beatty, Hans Kraus, and Ben Gherkin, and they really, really, sparked a fire in our team. Those 3, combined with Carson Canny and Tragan Biter, went on something like a 26-3 run between the end of the third quarter into the beginning of the fourth quarter. So that was huge for us. Just the energy that they brought in, and just the offense, defense. We hit threes, but the defensive intensity was just so much fun.
Coach, a couple of games coming up next week as well. You guys got Denison Schleswig at home on Tuesday, and then on Thursday you guys travel to South Hamilton. Both you guys, as of right now, like 15-2, 16-2 on the year. So that one could be interesting. Do you think that one could have any impact on anything further down in the season? Because I was thinking that could be a team you could see maybe in the postseason.
Yeah, I'm not really sure we'll find out Monday where we get slotted for postseason play. And that's what we said to our guys Thursday night going to the Carroll game, not the Carroll game, the Harlan game. It was so big for us because we needed to win. That we're sitting 6th in the state scenes right now, state rankings. So to win that game allows us to should allow us to stay in the top 6, which will hopefully give us a favorable matchup. You don't want to go north where West Line and Western Christian is. You got Underwood and Trainer over in Southwest Iowa that are really good. So it'll be interesting to see where we get slotted. But before the South Hamilton game, if we Harlan beat Lewis Central last night, so that puts us both at with one loss in the conference. And so, we take care of business Tuesday night against Denison. We'll be, co-champions in the conference. So that's a big opportunity for us. We want to make sure we take advantage of.
And that's something that you guys really wanted coming into this year.
Absolutely. That was one of our main goals. We want to win the conference and we want to make it to the state tournament. So, Harlan, really made up for it. We dropped the one against Lewis Central where we could, take care of business ourselves. But Harlan came up big for us, and now we just got to seal the deal on Tuesday.
Well, Coach, as always, we appreciate all of the time. Wish you the best of luck, and looking forward to seeing where the playoff pairing sends you guys and being able to catch up with you throughout the playoffs.
Absolutely, us too. Looking forward to it, and thanks for your coverage.
You bet. Head coach Sean Minahan again with the Kemper boys basketball team. We've got Randy Beeson. We're going to catch up with him next right here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show.
It is Catholic Schools Week, and Catholic Schools Week is celebrating huge milestones this year. 50 years nationally and 150 years in Carroll County. Carroll Broadcasting wants to help highlight how Catholic schools have played such an important role in our community.
Greetings from Kemper. This is John Steffes wishing everyone a happy Catholic Schools Week. Let's celebrate. We have much to be thankful for and to celebrate how Kemper educates the whole child, mind, body, and soul.
Helping us celebrate Catholic Schools Week. Haley Equipment, Lens Insurance and Real Estate, Olson Mulbauer, Bruner Reinhardt Morton, Kemper Catholic Schools, Catholic Charities, Matt Hinners, St. Anthony Regional Hospital, Mid-Iowa Insurance and Real Estate, and the Market on 30.
Back here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show, of course, we're talking with Randy Beeson, the head boys basketball coach with the Carroll Tigers. They come off a nice 53-43 victory last night over Boone. Coach, congrats on that one. Appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff.
You bet. You guys got out of the gate good last night. How much did you guys need that, do you think?
Yeah, it felt really good, actually. We weren't great offensively to start, but our defense was pretty good. Held them without scoring for the first 3 minutes, and we missed some shots and turned it over a little bit early on, but we tried to pick up the pace and speed up the game as much as possible, so we got them to turn it over and got some easy ones in transition, and that got us going a little bit. And second quarter was even better. We scored the ball a lot better and took care of it and got some open shots. And Jared Moore had 3 big threes for us almost in a row in the second quarter that kind of blew it open and got us up by 10, and I think we were up 12 at halftime. So it felt good to get off to a good start, and the last few games, second half hasn't been pretty, so we were pretty confident at halftime. But we said, you got to keep doing the little things well. So it was a good first half last night.
Did you see the guys' confidence starting to wane at all? This is a great group of guys, but with the 5-game losing streak, and as you just mentioned, kind of the struggles in the second half, kind of leading that, or did this group come out in the second half? Do you feeling pretty confident?
Well, I think it's easy, once you lose 4 or 5 games in a row to start second-guessing a few things and wondering, do I have what it takes? Am I good enough? What do we need to do? And our guys have been great. They haven't pointed any fingers. It's just, you got to keep being better. And, when we finally did get a practice in between some of those losses, the attitude was great. The effort was great. They're talking, communicating, trying to get better. So I knew we at some point we were going to snap out of it. And to be honest with you, it wasn't like we just played awesome, but I don't think it was confidence-wise. We missed some easy ones around the basket and got some open looks and didn't get them to fall. And same way, we had a couple stretches tonight. Start of the second quarter, we scored 2 points for about the first 4 minutes of the second quarter, and then all of a sudden the last 3 or 4 minutes was a lot better. And third quarter was the same way. We scored 2 points the first 5 minutes of the third quarter, and then scored 5 or 6 points there towards the end, and fourth quarter was a little bit better. So, Boone plays a weird zone, like a 4-out, 1-in zone, and they just try to slow you down and make you make silly mistakes, and they close out super hard, so there's not a lot of threes to be made, and they make you shoot some awkward shots. They won't let you get to the basket because they got 6-7 under the basket, and they close out hard, so they make you drive it and make decisions with the ball. So I wouldn't say we were great on all of our decision-making. We didn't make a ton of shots and shoot lights out, but we were solid enough where down the stretch we made the right plays and took care of the basketball had some guys step up, and we made our free throws, went 10 for 13 from the free throw line, which was good to see as well. So just one of those games that a lot of guys did a few things. We had some guys step up, some guys off the bench did some nice things. So it was a good, just all-around team win last night.
Coach, the other thing that jumps out for me is it's a 5-game losing streak, but if anybody looks at the scores, you're playing really good ball clubs, and even though you're struggling in the second half, and there for a while it was mainly just the fourth quarter, it wasn't like you guys were getting blown out. These were still all tight games. You guys still had chances late in a lot of those games to maybe get into it and pull out a win. So you knew once things changed, this team's going to look probably more like you anticipated them looking.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the DCG game got out of hand, obviously,
right.
And they're really good being a 4A team. But Winterset, Ballard, ADM, Bondurant, I mean, those are 4 really good conference teams. They're the best teams in our conference. And we were either winning by 2 or tied up with 3 or 4 minutes to go in almost all those games. One of them we were up by 9 at halftime, So we did a lot of really good things in those games, but we just had a couple stretches that we weren't very good, and we didn't find a way to get enough stops late in the game, and we let teams get hot. They made some outside shots in a bunch of those games, So, we've been super close. So we just need to get off that losing streak, and it was good last night to come around. Evan Hammer had been sick for a couple days in a row, so he played limited minutes last night, and, you got a big game today against Denison, so that's always a fun one. So we tried to make sure that we kept guys a little bit fresher. We played a few more guys so that we could get up and down and still try to push the pace and run and do some things, but not get people super tired. So once again, we say all the time, you win as a team, you lose as a team, and there's no pointing fingers. And I played 9 or 10 guys tonight or last night, and they were all solid. They all showed up, and they were good teammates. And Boone had a kid averaging 8 or 9 points. One of their big guys scored 17 points against us, so we didn't do a very good job of matching him up, which we'll have to do a better job today against the Arkfeld kid who's 6'7" and big like him. So, but overall, guys did a really nice job. We had 8 or 9 guys scored points last night, so it was just a good team win for all of us.
And Coach, I remember mentioning something to you Tuesday night, that you had 2 more games this week. If you win them both, everybody's just going to be talking about a 2-game winning streak. You got that chance. And as you mentioned it, you're taking on Denison Schleswig. This has always been kind of a good rivalry between the 2 programs. And, not saying it's a rivalry between the 2 head coaches, but you guys know each other well.
Yeah, it's always a fun one. They're always well coached and always have some good athletes, and it's no different today. They got the Arkfeld kid that's 6'7", 6'8". They got the Weavers kid that was a good football player and is a good basketball player as well. He's a good rebounder, a good passer, can shoot it. The Fink kid is a good player as well. So they got some really good athletes and some good players, and it should be a fun one. It's always fun to go against them, and Coach Fink and I are good college roommates and still good buddies, so we talk a lot of basketball. We try not to talk about anything specific with our teams, just about how things are going and stuff like that. So it's always a fun game, and I expect a good one this afternoon.
Well, looking forward to it, Coach. We can't wait to see you guys play again, so we'll let you go. Catch up with you coming up later on this afternoon after the ball game.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
You bet. Head coach Randy Beeson again with the Carroll Boys basketball team back with more. We'll talk Carroll Boys wrestling. That's coming up next year on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show.
Hi, this is Dr. Rick Gotting. Join me here on KCIM at 10 o'clock on Sunday mornings where I talk about orthopedics and whatever else really comes to mind. We have a good time on the show, and we would like to invite you to join us.
Listen this Sunday morning at 10 a.m. right here on KCIM for the St. Anthony Hospital Orthopedics Show with Dr. Rick Gotting. For more information about St. Anthony Orthopedics, go to stanthonyhospital.org or call 794-5536.
Back here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show, talking Carroll Tiger Boys wrestling right now with head coach Eric Nago, who is joining us. And Coach, as always, appreciate you kind of chiseling out a little bit of time to join us on these Saturday mornings.
Hey, no problem. Anything for you guys.
You bet. Coach, you guys in action a couple of different times since we talked last Saturday. Of course, Raccoon River Conference meet last Saturday. We'll chat about that here in a little bit, but you also headed down to Creston for the regional duels on Tuesday night. Took on a Winterset team in the opening round, picked up a win there, and then met Creston, who was seeded number 3. Got an early lead, but fell. But first, 3 straight years now you guys in the regional duel tournament?
Yeah, 3 straight years. Actually, our first year we actually went to Winterset, and they were seeded a little bit higher, and we had to wrestle Hampton Dumont and end up losing that one and didn't get our chance at Winterset. And then last year we had to go up to Webster City with Webster City and Humboldt qualified this year for state duels, so congratulations to them. And then we were fortunate again to be able to qualify this year and get a victory, first one. And you don't want to go 3 years in a row and not win that first round,
Yep.
You work hard to get there. So, that was our goal and a chance to beat Winterset and get a chance at, trying to beat a giant like Creston and traditionally powerhouse, and we got that opportunity. So pretty grateful for those.
Another cherry kind of on top of another special season, including back-to-back Raccoon River Conference Coach of the Year honors for you. So congratulations on that as well.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I didn't win last year. I lost last year.
Okay.
I got the year before.
Okay.
But no, and that's a compliment to the kids and everything, and I appreciate everybody sending the messages and whatever, but you know how it is. Without the kids, you don't get those awards, and it goes to all those kids and all the hard work and my coaching staff. I can't say enough about my coaching staff. Those guys are amazing. I mean, they're just not a coaching staff. They're my best friends and good friends, and our families are close, and it's just a family atmosphere, and I couldn't have done it without all those guys, so I appreciate all those.
Well, that what makes what you guys are doing up there so special, Coach. Let's talk Winterset Tuesday night. A conference foe, you know them well. You ended up winning 37-28. Dropped the very first match at 144 pounds, but then kind of got things rolling, picking up 5 straight wins and winning 6 of the next 8 matches. Not really to kind of to completely secure it, but get yourself in pretty good shape at that point.
Yeah, it put us in a pretty good lead there. We put Thaddeus Dirks out at 144. Tanner Heidoff was doing a great job for us this year, and Thaddeus finally got to the weight he needed to get to, and we gave an opportunity for a wrestle off. But with all the but the snow days and things like that, we had to wrestle off, and Thaddeus happened to win that one and went out and wrestled hard, but lost. He hasn't had a few matches, and then to rattle off 6 in a row and get 8 out of there, to do what we needed to do. Huge win by Jake Kincaid at 106. That was a huge win for him and a huge turn for us. I think once Jake got that win, and then we bumped Trevin Childress to 113 and Tedrow up to 20. At that point, we kind of figured we had it at that point with Winterset. You never know, but we knew we had it after that.
Yeah, got a little tighter probably than you wanted to late. It was just a 6-point lead headed into Cal Nelson, the final match. You guys end up getting the win by decision from him to secure that 9-point victory. That advances you into the to the finals of that regional duel. As you said, you took on Creston, who was the host team. You won the first 3 and won 4 of the first 5, and then Creston kind of looks like maybe to the heart of their team and ended off reeling off, I think, about 6 or 7 in a row to secure the victory.
Yeah, we started off 3 in a row hot, and then they bumped Bollinger up from 65 away from Rick Galler to wrestle Polking, and we were kind of excited for that. Kieran's been wrestling really, really well, and we talk about that being the person that wants the ball and that one that wants to have the duel in their hands, and Kieran went out and wrestled hard against a real tough competition. And then Quentin comes off with a win, and then you get into their firepower a little bit with Fuller and Chapman. They're big upper guys, and and then their lower weights. They just kind of got the snowball rolling. But I thought we did a real good job rolling out of there. And then Tedrow came out at 13 and got a good takedown. And I thought that was going to stop the bleeding, but then they just started getting on their roll, and then we lost by a tech fall and a fall and then it comes down into 11-7 at 126. And, Beckett fought his butt off in that match. And matter of fact, we reversed him, and However it was, don't know what it was. I thought it was a fall. We all thought it was a fall. Should have been a pin. We should have won that match, but we ended up losing that match 11-7. And once you get the snowball rolling with them, they're really, really tough to beat. It was a great atmosphere. Coach Downing and those guys do a great job. Lights were turned down low. Put the lights in the center mat, and fans were getting after each other. Fans were getting after us. I felt like I was at an Iowa duel, being the opposite team, and everybody's screaming at me. So we got a little heated with them, but that's what's fun. That's what's fun about that environment, getting after it. And Creston, like we talked earlier, they're traditionally a wrestling community. Everybody in that community knows how to wrestle and knows wrestling and can wrestle. And when you have that tradition and whatever, and it was good for our kids to feel that in that atmosphere, because that's what same thing we're trying to create here. Trying to build that community up to follow and to push and to traditionally be that way. So it was fun to see us. I loved the environment. It was awesome. But once I got that snowball rolling, it was really, really hard to stop it.
Coach, let's bounce back here to last Saturday. Very good performance at the Raccoon River Conference meet. You guys finished up fourth and comfortably in fourth place ahead of Winterset and also Boone. So a good showing for your guys down there last Saturday.
Yeah, our guys wrestled really, really well to go down there. And like I said earlier, that Saturday, there's 6 ranked teams in there, and you got Bondurant, Carlisle, and North Polk had a great day. Hesse's done a great job with those guys. They wrestled well. They qualified for regional duels as well and won the first round. But for us to come out fourth, and our guys wrestled well and did everything that they needed to, and showed a lot of heart with dealing with the things that we dealt with that week, and stepping up and doing their job and taking care of business when I wasn't available to be there for them. And our coaching staff did a great job preparing them that week and getting everything ready. And they wrestled their rear ends off. And to finish fourth in that conference, I'm very, very proud of what we did there. It was acceptable and where we need to be. We know we're right in that hunt. And like I said, you got 6 teams in there that can hammer away, and it could have went any way, every which way. And I was just very impressed and proud of our guys.
Well, Coach, as always, we appreciate all the time. Hopefully you're going to be able to enjoy a Saturday away and just spending with family. So we appreciate you joining.
I'm going to do that.
You bet. Have a great one, man, and we will catch up with you again next week.
I appreciate it. Thanks for all the coverage, and go Tigers.
Head coach Eric Noggle again with the Carroll Boys Wrestling team. Back with more from the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show next right here on KCIM.
Janine's Hallmark can get you ready for Valentine's Day. From charming willow tree collectibles to coffee mugs and pillows with simple sayings to fragrant candles, find something perfect for your sweetheart, best friend, or anyone else. And don't forget the card. Stop in early for the best selection. Janine's Hallmark in the Westgate Mall.
Back here on the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show, let's talk a little Kemper Boys Wrestling right now with head coach Shane Vaughn. And Coach, appreciate you joining us here today.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to be here.
You bet, Coach. You guys kind of wrapping up what we did call the regular season last Saturday at the Hawkeye 10 Conference meet. I thought you guys did well, finishing in 6th with 130.5 points, just behind Atlantic. I know we had talked last week that you were hoping that maybe you could nip those guys, and it came really, really close. They finished with 133, but had a lot of individual guys finish extremely well. Caleb Hoffman took 2nd place. Owen Neppel finished in 5th for you. Jake Earlbeck was 2nd. Tate Barrett was 3rd. Sam Rodert finished up in 4th place. Bryce Wiskus was 3rd. Kobe Pierce also finished in 5th. So a lot of guys in the top 5. Had to feel pretty good about how things went.
Yeah, we got off to kind of a slow start that day, losing our first several matches in a row. But I think once our kids kind of got settled in the flow of the tournament and got rolling a little bit, we kind of picked up steam and ended up not having a bad day overall.
What do you think happened early? You mentioned you lost several early matches in a row. What do you think was going on there?
I mean, part of it, there's tough competition. You know, it's a tough conference, tough tournament, so that very well could be it. We had a few guys, I think, that got a little too invested in looking at the bracket and who they might have next instead of just focusing on one match at a time and wrestling, and that kind of caught up to them. So that's something that's good to figure out now versus at districts or hopefully the state tournament. So, you learn those lessons and grow from them.
Yeah, and the other good thing about it, coaches, is that it sounds like after maybe suffering that early loss, that didn't make them distraught and kind of knock them out for the rest of the day. Sounds like you bounced back really well.
Absolutely. Yeah, kids responded well.
Coach, let's start right at the top there. Caleb Hoffman taking second at 120 pounds. Good day for him. How'd you feel like he wrestled?
He wrestled tough. He's kind of finally settled into his routine and gotten confident with where he wants to be and finds himself ways to put himself in the positions he's comfortable. So he had a pretty good day. Obviously hats off to the Glenwood kid. He's a heck of a wrestler. So that was a tough final for us, but getting that final to compete against him was a pretty good opportunity for Caleb.
Jake Earlbeck, another second-place finisher for you, got into the championship match, lost to the kid from Shenandoah, who was 38-1 on the season. But Jake, a ranked wrestler, where's he at right now, and where do you think he needs to get to make a run if he can get down to the state tournament?
Jake's been competing really well for us.
Yeah.
Had a good semifinal win over another tough opponent and then a tough loss in the final, but he's really developed into his confidence on the mat. So he's pretty excited about the next opportunities ahead of him.
Yeah, he's a guy that has a chance to make a run, and don't want to put him in Des Moines yet, but you got to feel good about him getting down there. I think he's got a chance to do some damage if he gets there.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, he's one of our guys that I think has definitely a lot of opportunity ahead of him, and it's just up to him to go out and take it.
Tate Barrett, a third-place finisher. I know you kind of mentioned you felt he wrestled really well for you in a really loaded class.
Yeah, 165 is tough. I mean, really the top 5 kids in that bracket all are fantastic wrestlers, and so battling out and getting third was a great day for him. And his last 2 matches actually had to come from behind a little bit, so that was good to see that kind of compose your employees out of him.
Yeah, one is third-place match, 6-3. You said he had to kind of come back. What did he do to come back, and what happened that he fell behind early?
He just kept wrestling. Gave up an early takedown. In both those matches, gave up an early takedown and didn't dwell on it. Just kind of fought back, found a way to his feet, and continued to wrestle and look for his own points and make up that ground.
Bryce Wiskus, another third-place finisher for you, won his third-place match by major decision, kind of dominated the young man from Creston, winning it to 10-1. Good day for him on the mats as well?
Yeah, he's a little disappointed. He was hoping for more than a third-place finish, but he bounced back well. Had an upset early on that he wasn't too happy with, but he responded really well. He kept his head on straight and just continued to wrestle and finish up third, so not too upset about that.
Coach, who else out of the guys, you had so many guys place, who else wrestled well for you?
We had a lot of guys that had good moments, even if they didn't necessarily finish where they wanted. Owen Nepple did some good things. McGuire, Jake, Joe, from that 32 to 44 range, all wrestled pretty tough. Sam Rodert is down a weight from where he spent most of the season, and he's kind of starting to get more confident there, and that's really good to see. So him coming in fourth was a pretty good day for him.
Coach, kind of odd. You've been off this entire week as we talk on this Saturday morning, and now you got the state qualifying meet coming up. So what was the focus this past week that we went through, and what's the focus then in practice in the week leading up to the district meet?
Having that break allows us to kind of, take a step back and evaluate for more of a wide lens focus on where the areas we can all work to get better on. And then next week heading in, we're going to kind of fine-tune things on a more individual basis and get where we need to be so we feel real confident heading into Ogden.
Do you like the district there? Do you feel really good?
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, I feel good about it. I mean, there's tough teams there, but to get to the state tournament, you have to go through someone tough no matter where you are. So I like where we are. Should be a pretty good opportunity for us.
Well, like any typical wrestling season, you're going to get dings and bruises and bangs and stuff throughout the season. This kind of 2-week stretch of not having a meet after the Hawkeye 10, going to be as healthy as you probably can be going into the district meet?
Yep, that's our plan. Just get kids healed up and feeling as good as possible, both mentally and physically heading into it.
Well, Shane, as always, we appreciate you joining us here today. Hopefully you've been able to enjoy a little time off here over this last week as well and just get some rest yourself. But appreciate you always chatting with us on these Saturday mornings, and we'll look forward to catching up with you next week to preview that district meet at Ogden.
Sounds good. Thanks so much, Jeff.
You bet. Head coach Shane Vaughn again with the Kemper Boys Wrestling Team, back with more from the Pizza Ranch Coaches Show here on KCIM.
Here at Pizza Ranch, we love our basketball. Just like you love everyone's favorite buffet. Hot, fresh pizza, the country's best chicken, fresh, cool salad bar, and dessert options that are so good, it's like sinking the winning shot at the buzzer. Pizza Ranch is a perfect meal option every day of the week. And to make it even sweeter, we have extended hours every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Whoa, that's good.
Pizza Ranch, located just off Highway 30 in Carroll, open 7 days a week.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in here for this Pizza Ranch Coaches Show on this Saturday morning. I want to thank Tracy Hoffman, the Kemper Girls Wrestling Coach, and Sam Vanami, the Carroll Girls Wrestling Coach, for joining us all season long. Their season has come to an end as we've wrapped up our interviews with them for this winter sports season. Also want to thank coaches that we'll talk to for the next couple of weeks. Andrew Klink from the Kemper Girls, Katie Cook from the Carroll Girls Basketball Team, Sean Minahan from the Kemper Boys Basketball Team, Randy Beeson with the Carroll Boys Basketball Team, Eric Nago with the Carroll Boys Wrestling Team, Shane Vaughn with the Kemper Boys Wrestling Team, and Deb Danner will be back to join us next week to talk at Carroll Boys Swimming with the upcoming state meet. They've got, of course, their state qualifying meet going on today. That gets underway today at noon over in Ames today. So we wish Deb and that absolutely fantastic team the best of luck coming up later today. Rest of that local sports schedule in basketball, it'll be the Carroll Tigers hosting Denison Schleswig. I'll have the broadcast for everybody on 93.7 KKRL. Coverage getting underway at around 3:45 today with a tip-off of the girls game at 4 o'clock. Elsewhere, South Central Calhoun, they are entertaining Spencer beginning at 3:30 today in wrestling. South Central Calhoun boys are going to Eagle Grove today. Alta Aurelia and Garner Hayfield Ventura all going to be there. That is a dual tournament that will get underway at 10 o'clock this morning. Thanks very much for tuning in. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you over on KKRL coming up here in a few hours.